Yo, family, what is good? Welcome back to another live stream today where we have got a very serious and a very big update to get through. The potential trap and cause for concern in the immediate short term, potentially a war, and also on the flip side, some reassuring developments, some forward-looking updates coming from the likes of Marathon in regards to AI that for me is going to allow this market to recover at a later date. But right here and now, things are looking a little bit bleak, in all honesty. We'll get to all this stuff throughout the stream. I apologize for not being present yesterday. We're simply unable to, but there should be streams for the remainder of this weekend, albeit they will be at this sort of time because there's a lot going on for me right now. I am shattered, so I also won't make this stream too long. I know most of you like the hour content, just the chilling and chatting, but this stream is going to be very much still a conversation with you all as we try to do, but to the point, the facts, and so you know what you kind of need to prepare for in the immediate short term. That being said, welcome back, family. You're doing very, very well today. Good to see you in here as always. Lau, Stuntoma, Indigenous, and Crypto Gosu, you legends. Thank you all for being here once more. And those who are tuning in right now or a little bit later or watching on playback, also welcome to the stream. And what's up, Senor Churv as well. Now, to get straight into it, look at the markets and what do you see right now? Oil up 2.78%. That alone tells you where we're currently going. Gold at 5.2, almost 5.3K, about to make a new all-time high, up 1.88%. Silver up to almost 100 again. This here would be deemed, in my belief, as a level of resistance, given the previous time we were here. We're currently at one roundabout now, but if silver breaks above this, then we're probably going to see an all-time high in silver as well. Currently up 6.25%. And then look at the alternative markets. Stocks down 0.40%. And the market will close now because it's the weekend. So that won't move. But crypto will, as it always does. Bitcoin down 2.76%. It did make a very, very sharp rally just a few days back here. This was off the back, if I remember correctly, off the back of the Nvidia earning report. I think that was another big announcement that happened that day as well, albeit my mind's a little bit fried right now, so I cannot remember entirely, but I remember that Wednesday was a very big day. We saw Nvidia earnings come back and it beat expectations, therefore a very, very good sign that AI is still on the rally, on the rise, and that's great for crypto because AI cannot function on traditional rails. It needs something faster. It can't do it on the expensive systems of TradFi. It needs DeFi. It needs crypto. So AI being good, earnings, that is also very, very big for crypto as well. We saw Bitcoin do very well, touching 70K once again. Bit of a pullback to be expected, and then we saw it trade and finish yesterday around 6-7K. Not out of the ordinary. And then also that was it. Also, it was not just Nvidia. You actually reminded me there, Gozu, by saying that. It was not just Nvidia, it was also the backlash or repercussions from the Jane Street lawsuit when they were sued. And because therefore the manipulators of the market were a bit concerned, if you will, or no, because Jane Street got penalized, those who do insider trading, because there's definitely that taking place no matter where you are, they of course don't want to potentially put any spotlights on themselves. So it's not saying that Jane Street were the culprits, although there's a lot of evidence right now, allegations even I should say, suggesting they were. The point being is there was no one to short Bitcoin like they tend to normally do at 10 a.m, which is the reoccurring time. So with that and with Nvidia beating earning report, you saw Bitcoin and crypto soar a lot yesterday. We saw Casper do fantastic that day as well. We saw Casper rally up from the bottom here of 2.9 up 12% to 3.2. And then even yesterday, even though it didn't finish that high out, Casper started here at 3, right up another 9% to 3.36. So we saw the days do quite well for those two assets. But of course now we are in just 2 days time in a completely new environment. Very, very new environment. Bitcoin down 2.6, ETH down 5, XRP down 3, Solana down 5, Casper down 4. Quant's doing okay today, but albeit it's at a support level and it's probably going to come down. AVAX down, Zerek down, Canton, everything down. Thankfully, me and my VIP community, we had predicted and anticipated this sort of development. We're speaking about it weekly, those who are in the VIP and also those who are members in YouTube who have the ability, I should say, not liberty, the ability to watch this week's roundtable here, they would have seen what we spoke about, the forward lookers up, but also what to be cautious of. And what's happening right now is what we're cautious of. We actually have got some longs and short trades, but a lot of the trades that came through recently were short trades. Some of them didn't go through due to the volatility on Wednesday, but a lot of them are still on, and we've held on to them, and we are making some serious gains right now. We had one in virtuals, one in AVAX, one in GOAT from ages ago, and all of them are printing heavy right now because of the current market dynamics, and this is likely going to continue. Welcome back, Falco bro. You're doing that lurking thing. I appreciate you very much for being here. Hope you enjoyed today's stream and are very well informed for what's hopefully, well not hopefully, but what I personally believe is about to come. And then we can hopefully prepare for how we're going to manage this. And good evening to you too, Brett, as well, and you allow. Now, we can see this. We look at the market chart. We kind of see where the market's at right now. We can see what's dumping and what's pumping. We already know what the situation is, but we're going to talk about it right here and now. This is one report. I just posted this in my Discord server. Those who are even in the free Discord server, you would have seen me forward the post I put to the VIP into the community server. So everybody had the liberty, I keep saying liberty, I'm so tired, had the luxury, the ability to see it. So we spoke about this report here. This is just one element, and it's a reason why the markets are down, but it's not the main one. But we saw PPI inflation come in much, much, much hotter than expected. 2.9 compared to the expected 2.6, and 3.6 above the expected 3. Remember, the Fed won inflation at 2%. This is going the opposite way, the wrong way completely. Now, is that tariff related or is that something else? It's not tariff related just yet, at least not to my understanding or belief, because tariffs, when Trump revised them because of the Supreme Court, they only took effect, a few weeks back. These reports are coming from last month, January, so to speak. So this could therefore mean if tariffs are inflationary, like every economist seems to believe and says, and the Fed as well, then we could see inflation drop even more significantly next month, and that would be bad. The point being, we're seeing inflation rally significantly. Core PPI at the highest level since July 2025. Hot inflation is not good. Fed will not want to cut rates in that environment. We are still seeing a relatively strong economy though, so I'm not too worried right now. You can see ISM still above 50, meaning we're currently going into an expanding, growing economy, which is good. M21 supply still extremely hot, very, very high. We still are got a lot of positive macro, but this is not. This is very, very bearish indeed. So that was one thing to cause a lot of angst in the markets, because you can't cut rates when inflation is so hot. Now, truthfully, or to understand this, the Fed don't focus too much on PPI. They focus more on PCE, but it's still inflation metric. It's still important for us to understand. That's one thing that I spoke about to the executives earlier, and also reposted, and forwarded into the communal free Discord server. But here's the headline. This is what you also had the luxury of seeing in the server. You would have seen it in the executives a little bit beforehand, and then you would have seen it in the general server. We're going to listen to this video here. It's from Trump, and this is going to set the stage for what's coming else following this interview here, this talk from Trump. So listen very closely here.
So I'm not happy with the negotiation. Well, they should make a deal, but they don't want to quite go far enough, and it's too bad. Look, we've been playing with them for 47 years, and that's a long time. They've been blowing the legs off our people, blowing the face off our people, the arms. They've been knocking out ships one by one. But every month there's something else, so you can't put up with it too long. We're not happy with the negotiation. They just don't want to. They don't want to say the key words. We're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They have to say we're not going to have a nuclear weapon, and they just can't quite get there. They want to enrich a little bit. You don't have to enrich when you have that much oil. So I'm not happy with the negotiation.
Hopefully my silence is very loud right now, because following that, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, Iran designated as a state sponsor of wrongful detention. The Iranian regime must stop taking hostages and release all Americans unjustly detained in Iran. I'm not here to argue whether that is correct or not. If it's correct, it's wrong. That is bottom line. They shouldn't be doing that. If it's correct, I'm not here on the opinion that anybody here is telling the truth. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust what is currently being said from any party, because how are you going to trust? This is literally trust me, bro. I don't trust anybody. But the bottom line is, Trump's press conference said that negotiations are not good. And then you've got the Secretary of State suggesting or accusing, whether completely accurate or not, either way, saying as of Feb today that the Iranian regime are taking hostages and are detaining Americans wrongfully. Throughout history, this is more often than not the penultimate step taken before war. Because you've got to make a statement to give yourself the justification to take that step. Trump would not have the backing of going to war with Iran because they didn't agree to the nuclear enrichment regime. That's not enough. But then to add a sprinkle on top of that saying, oh, but they're also detaining America to be doing so for 47 years, now you've got a more justifiable reason for you to actually go to war. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I pray to everything I love and everyone that it doesn't happen. I pray it doesn't. But the bottom line is, you've got bad macro data, but then you've got this. And as I stated in my community, urgent update. US versus Iran. It looks like negotiations between the US and Iran have broken down, and as of earlier today, Marco Rubio had declared that Iran are holding American hostages. Whether this is true or not, that is by the by. Bottom line is, normally this is the penultimate step before the trigger is pulled. And we're seeing that right now. Markets are pricing in that we are about to go to war. And if you're in the VIP, you would have seen articles like these. All this stuff here. We literally, the new tsunami warning. We spoke about the recent updates in regards to the bullish nature for AI and tokenization, the gold metal strategy still being there because of slight risk on still being there, yada, yada. And the potential escalation between US and Iran here. And then the fact that we saw good news, this came out on 25th, on Wednesday, when we saw the markets pump. The key message I stated in my stream, and based on this here as well, is that don't be fooled by a green day in the markets. This is exactly what we said on Wednesday. And look what's playing out right now. Exactly as we had predicted. We were prepared for this outcome. The belief that the US now said Iran had been taking hostages. This is normally a penultimate key step before the justification is made that they now can go to war. Now again, that's not me saying it's going to happen, but history has proven that this is normally the penultimate step. And if there was to be a time, given Trump's track record so far this year, it would happen this weekend. Because during the weekend, the markets, the TradFi markets aren't moving. Crypto will move, of course. Crypto will collapse. It'll crash. It'll come down significantly. But TradFi won't react. It can't. Markets are closed. But they open up again on Monday, and then you'll see the reaction. So this weekend, this Friday right now, Saturday, Sunday, we could see the escalation. We could. And that's why we cannot fall for the trap. Of course, there are two things I said into the community. The two things I said. Of course, not financial advice. Always do your own research and trade at your discretion. But I'm expecting a lot of volatility now. Potentially and likely market crashes, corrections in the immediate future, probably this weekend. And that means you've got two options effectively, or three. You get out while you can, but then you have no exposure. And if it does not unfold the way we predict, then and the markets recover and even make a rally potentially, then you have sold at a loss and you're buying back higher. You can take the much riskier approach, which is to short this market, which I believe many people are going to be doing. high risk. One that's going to probably pay off. And that's what the part of our VIP community were preparing for. So we shorted it before this fact. We shorted it on Wednesday. So we already got in like near the highs. Like for example, with AVAX. With AVAX, as you can see here, this is one of the short trades that we had taken. That I followed it along with what our trader Lambo Ledger in our VIP, our trader, put in this trade here, and I basically just drawed it out of my trading view here. Got in around this value here. I think it was at 9.5 I got in. And had a 2 risk. And thankfully I had a 2 risk on this. 2 ratio risk here. Because otherwise, if it was any higher than a 3 risk, which some did do, we got liquidated here from the candle. 2 risk. AVAX didn't come out. And then it came down. And now look at it. There was some that we did get liquidated on, like Polkadot. Polkadot went parabolic, unfortunately. I'm sure DOT has actually come down quite a bit now. I also looked at Polkadot. I put more risk. You can see, yeah, Polkadot. I tried doing a 2 risk that didn't work. Even 3 risk wouldn't have worked. Polkadot went crazy. But either way, we were on Wednesday shorting this, so we're already up. What, give or take, with 10x leverage, 60%. So you would get forward-looking analysis, getting ahead of the markets, preparing for what's to come, and learning more, and hopefully making gains through the VIP. So if you want to learn more, want to stay up with the market trends, check out the VIP. Links are down below in the description. If you join right now, you can get a 7-day free trial. Equally, go up to a 1-month free trial through the VIP. All links are down below. What's this? No, go away. Getting spammed by this here. All links down below in the description. By all means, go check it out. But this is the current situation we're in right now. And we could see that escalation this weekend. Just keep that in mind. So the 2 strategies that I mentioned, there's still a third one. Get out, short the market. The third one is the approach that I'm definitely going to be using. I mean, I'm using approach 2 and 3. I'm not getting out of the markets. I've already got stables. I've already got out of the markets a lot already. I'm holding Casper and stables. That's literally it right now. It's been like that for some time. And I've got my watch list for what I'm looking into in some particular AI projects or projects that are going to be getting the AI narrative. I'm going to be adding a new one to the VIP sometime next week, I believe. Another project that we're touching into the AI narrative, quite a big one. And the third one is DCAing. So had some short set up on Wednesday, so we're already making gains on those, looking very, very good, making the money, and also then DCAing in these lows. If we get the crash, then we'll definitely hit all of our take profits on all of our trades, making very big gains. I even got into my own personal one because I've been doing it myself. I thought to get into virtuals. And I didn't actually draw this one out accurately enough, but virtuals did just. Like my virtuals take profit was around here actually, so I just got lucky on virtuals to not get liquidated on my stop loss, and virtuals now down here. So virtuals could very well come all the way down if we get this outbreak this weekend, which is also what the VIP teaches. Teaches one how to trade, how to make money, understanding the importance of stop losses, take profits, support and resistance zones, and how to judge and analyze them, helping you develop your own trading strategy. So once more, you can learn more in the VIP about that. But this is what we're kind of looking into. So I'm not out of the market. Besides, I already got out earlier. So I have been short in the market a little bit with some high risk that I'm willing to lose, but also ready for the DC opportunity that's going to be coming with us with this news, with the high likelihood now that there's going to be an escalation again. This here is the justification that Trump's administration needs to now take action. Uranium enrichment is not enough reason. They might have run with that, but it's not enough of a reason. This here is another one. So just keep it in mind, it's a possibility. And given Trump's track record, it might happen this weekend. But of course, we'll see it as it goes. The other announcement that's also very much the last FUD and worrisome announcement of this stream before we get into the actual good stuff. And the reason why, despite this negativity in the immediate short term, I'm still not bearish. I'm still very, very bullish, because There's these stuff we've got to look into, particularly around Marathon and how that's big for Casper as well. But this here's the last bearish announcement here. The former Fox Business Journalist here. 11 Senate banking Dems. Senator Warren, Mark Warren. Senator Warren, Mark Warner. I'm not going to list the whole names, truth be told, but either way, a lot of Dems sent a letter to Pam Bondi and Scott Bessent urging the Department of Justice and Treasury to investigate Binance over media reports of illicit finance activity. Bottom line is, Trump pardons CZ. There could be more so Dems trying to attack Trump administration again. But Binance is, we know Binance is, we know frankly most, if not all, sectors are illicit or dodgy. You know, we saw if Wall Street do it, then what's to say that these centralized exchanges don't do it either? And Binance have been caught out a number of times, especially since October 10th. So, but this is another, we're at the point now where FUD is getting extremely high, at all-time highs. Like, we're in 16 according to CMC, we're probably lower, all honesty. We're at extremely high fear right now, and these are just going to keep stacking more and more. We're in a new tsunami, this stuff stacks, and therefore lower lows are possible. If I was to give my thesis potentially on the developments right now, my zone for what I'm looking into, my bottom right now is around here, 53 to 50k Bitcoin. That's my current zone, as potentially a bottom we come down to. That's my current zone in Bitcoin. But that would be a 60% correction, which prior cycles we came down 85%, 70%. So 65% given, or 60% given the current developments about to be seen very soon, I don't think is too egregious. From this point, this would be a 22% correction. Now the question is, will we correct more? Should we get a wall breakout? That is the question that ultimately is tough to say. The zones I've been seeing is either your 50k or we come back to the 30k we saw back here. 70% correction, and then we start building from there. I'm currently on the former, but of course that worst case in and around the 30k is entirely possible as well. You got some resistance down the way, of course, 40k as well, but I think you got your 70% correction around here also being a very, very likely zone, which I'll be speaking about to my VIPs on Monday in our next executive roundtable, so we are prepared. We might have already seen the aftermath after that anyways, but we'll be prepared for how to navigate this market going forward, and then when to DCA into. We'll most likely hit all of our entry zones and all the projects we want. We'll be looking into, ready for that massive reversal with the AI trend coming through. So that's the negativity. Hopefully the insight and information that you maybe not want, but most definitely need to be made aware of, so you are prepared for what's to come. Maybe even taking precautions yourself. Of course, do so at your own discretion. I'm not a financial advisor, just an educator, just talking about what I've seen and what I believe. But that's the bad. Here's the good, because we want some FOMO, we want some hopium, and the bottom line is, for me, 2026 is still going to be a big year. And I do think we get some very great entries and some very, very bullish price action, because the next 1 million users are going to be AI agents. There's zero doubt about that. AI is going, if you perceive crypto as a bubble, right? And every bubble, there's something that's allowed crypto to pump. In the 2021 cycle, the bubble that let crypto explode was NFTs. NFTs was all the hype in the last cycle. And then in the 2024 year, kind of running up to 2025 as well, the big meta was meme coins, namely Solana trenches. That's what allowed the markets to explode and make a lot of money. For me, this time around, the bubble that's going to send crypto risk on flying is AI. There's zero doubt about that. And you can find all that information out about that in the VIP. We posted documentation about this sort of stuff repeatedly. We've got a JP Morgan talking about the fact that right now, there's a lackluster amount of investment into crypto, into AI, and a number of other infrastructure. But JP Morgan and their clients, their families, they are adamant that the thing they're going to invest into, the top three things they're going to invest into is artificial intelligence, healthcare, and infrastructure assets. And then crypto is down the line a little bit, but they correlate. If you got into an infrastructure crypto, then that's still the top 3 effectively. So you can find that document from JP Morgan, listen to the roundtables, find the documents from KPMG, from Rothschild family, all interviews as well from Franklin Templeton, and so many more institutional insights that gives you the exact breakdown on what they're looking into. Documents they don't publish to the community or publicly, they're confidential. Stuff that we've got a hold of in the VIP thanks to the team there, and we post them so we are prepared for what's to come. So you can find that information, get ahead of the markets, get the information, get all the stuff you need to prepare for what's to come, to get in at the lows. But AI is going to be big. AI is going to be massive. We'll get into this IGRA post very soon because this is actually big. And of course, IGRA went live on Wednesday, which we did speak about, but it's still important. We're going to get to the Marathon stuff first. So, Marathon Digital Holdings, known as the Bitcoin mining company, of course, now it has pivoted quite a bit. Whereas in 2023, it started mining Casper in September and announced that publicly in 24 of June. And then they had a lot of Casper. They dumped a lot of it as well. Went from over 100 million Casper down to 38, I believe, give or take. And then as of all of 2025, they didn't really stack a lot, but they were mining Casper. And you can see that here. To go to Casper Stream, go to addresses, go, I think, page 3. Mara's right here. They've not been doing anything recently, which is to be expected because the markets are down. Why would you mine at a loss? You may not be, at least why would you want to? And it looks like these transactions here may not even have been mining, but more so people sending it to them. But you can see where they were mining. If you go back a little bit here. So at the end of 2025, so it's been a few months now, but mid-2025 even, they were still mining Casper. Of course, some were rejected, some were confirmed, but they were still mining Casper. They turned off the miner for Casper seemingly around, in at least according to Casper Stream here, seemingly around mid-December 2025. That doesn't mean they're going to stop indefinitely, because, as you can see, they're still holding Casper. 57.5, almost, million Casper. They're still holding it. They're not mining it, but they're still holding it, which is enough to tell you that they still got conviction in this asset. Otherwise, they sell it all off while they hold it still. They've been mining it continuously up to 2025. They stacked up from 38 odd million, another almost up 20 million more. So they're still mining Casper, they're still holding Casper. But they're not making money in Bitcoin either. So what did they announce recently? They announced this. A strategic partnership with Starwood Digital Ventures to accelerate delivery of cutting-edge hyperscaled enterprise and AI-capable digital infrastructure. Ultimately, they're pivoting to AI, data centers, this stuff that is extremely important, and evidently the next meta once more why I believe crypto is going to do fantastic this year. There is zero doubt in my mind about that. Zero doubt at all. You got this, where Marathon announced this AI pivot, they jumped up 16%. Rose to $9.80 after teaming up with Starwood Capital to convert Bitcoin mining sites into AI data centers. It's not all of them, but a number of Bitcoin mining sites have now been converted into AI centers, targeting 1 gigawatt near term and potentially increasing to 2.5 plus in the longer term. But this here is big, because it lets you know that Mara are now trying to position themselves as a leader in the digital asset economy. It was Bitcoin because that was the leading. They've gone to Casper because they had faith in it, and they still evidently do because they're holding it. And now they're going to AI because they see AI as the next big step, but also still in the digital asset realm. Now we can listen to this interview here, or these parts of the interview here, with the CEO of Marathon, Fred Thiel. And he confirms this partnership and ultimately why it's big. And then we could talk about this and ultimately correlate this to what DRI are doing and ultimately why what Marathon is doing is actually very, very bullish for Casper as well. So listen very closely here to the CNBC interview with Fred Thiel, CEO of Marathon.
Mara Holdings up as much as 16% earlier today after announcing a partnership with Starwood Capital to build AI data centers across its existing sites. That's a trend we're starting to see across the broader market. Miners, as the crypto market continues to struggle, pivoting into this space. And it's a big move for Mara, whose shares have fallen nearly 40% in the past 6 months. Here to discuss the strategy changes, Fred, is it Thiel or Thiel, Fred, CEO of Mara Holdings? Welcome. Maybe for the after show. So I find this interesting for 2 reasons, not just going into AI data centers, which obviously there's enormous demand for, but tell me what's going on in the crypto space with mining Bitcoin right now as the price stays where it is. I'm just curious about both that piece of the story and what you're going into.
Yeah, so if you look at go back to last year and you think a little bit about what happened last year, Bitcoin price ramped up. The Bitcoin market, typically miners add more capacity as price goes up because they can make more money. Bitcoin mining is a zero-sum game, so more capacity that comes on, everybody's fighting over the same number of Bitcoin to be awarded every day. And so it becomes a market share war. And when Bitcoin price goes down, all of a sudden, that difficulty makes it hard for people to make profit, especially when the price drops at this level. So a lot of miners have been looking at their infrastructure availability today and how much power do they have. For the hyperscalers, key thing today is how much power do you have turned on? Because the big risk for a hyperscaler is I'm going to go buy land. I talk to an energy company. They tell me I'll be able to connect in 2, 3, maybe 4 years.
Wow.
And then I have to be certain it'll connect. And Bitcoin miners have energy available today. It's an easy pivot. The key is being able to do it with the right partner, and choosing Starwood for us reduces a huge amount of risk, both for the potential hyperscaler tenant in that they're used to dealing with Starwood on the other side, and for us from an execution perspective.
So that's the breakdown as to why they are pivoting Bitcoin mining sites into AI data centers, because the process of trying to get the permission to build hyperscalers, to build data centers, takes years. At least it can do. And that's time, effort. And frankly, they haven't got the time for that. AI is taking off this year. They haven't got 3-4 years to wait. So they're better off converting the sites they already have from Bitcoin mining, which already has everything they need there, to pivot into AI data centers. So that is the reason why they're doing that. Of course, this is ultimately a hedge, not a hedge, diversification of their portfolio from being Bitcoin mining. When Bitcoin was not profitable, they started diversifying into Casper. And now Bitcoin and Kaspa both aren't profitable because crypto is very much in the dump right now. So they're pivoting into the next thing, which is big AI. But they are not dropping any of them. They don't mention Kaspa here by name, but they're not dropping Kaspa. We've just gone through that. They're holding it still. They only stopped mining it for the last 2 months. They could very well turn them back on when the markets start to recover. We'll have to wait and see if and when that happens. I believe it will do. I still very much believe it will do, because they're still holding it. And then, and frankly, I mean, I've not gone into the ins and outs of these addresses. It might be another marathon address that is just sending their block, because you're seeing, look, like 23k, and it's all from the same address. So it might be another address that's marathons that they're just sending it to their main one. Might be. I haven't done the research in that aspect. So if someone wants to do that and let me know, by all means. All I'm saying is when you look at Marathon's actual wallet, the block rewards has stopped coming in as of 12th of December. But they were mining it, and they're still holding it. And they're still receiving inflows. So they evidently are still got some conviction in Casper. There's still conviction in Bitcoin, but they now go to hyperscalers. Why is that big for Casper? Well, because this proves that Marathon is still very much bullish in the whole kind of general field of digital assets. Bitcoin mining is still big for them. It's their main thing. They're going to AI right now, but they're still mining Casper as well. So they're looking into all of that stuff. The benefit of diversifying into AI means that they can end up continuing to make revenue. They're not making money from Bitcoin, from Casper. So if they can now make money through the likes of AI data centers, there's an argument to be made there that because they're making a lot of money potentially from AI data centers, they could then continue to, at a net loss, unfortunately, but they're subsidizing the losses from AI, continue to then start mining Casper and Bitcoin again. They might be losing money on that sort of fund, but they're stacking, which is important so they can get in when it's low. But they're making the offset of the losses with the profit they're making from AI data centers. So that's the possibility of that element, which is important to understand. But more importantly, is this, which, frankly, I've spoken about, but I feel like it is not spoken about enough. DI Desert Energy posted this back in January, just a month ago. Data centers, the new super off-takers of clean energy, they're building data centers right now in the Middle East. Sustainable ones. Mainly looks like through hydro, but it could be, regardless, they're making sustainable data centers for AI in the Middle East. You saw this posted in January as well. This, to be fair, this might have come out in December, actually. I really can't remember the date this was posted. But either way, this was in January. January 14th, you had a presentation with DI Desert Energy, with the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure at UAE, Mazda, Infinity Power, Dalmar Truck, who has partners to I can't even remember. Let me see if I can find it in my Discord community. If I did repost it in there, I really hope I did. Daimler, is it in there? Don't think so. Manfred, what a name, by the way. No, unfortunately not, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm pretty sure if I go through my Twitter feed and I find the original post I made of this, there was a reply from someone that spoke about the partnerships this guy had. And he's got some big name partnerships. But either way, you've got some massive companies, some massive institutions right now who had a meeting, a presentation on energy outlook for this year, renewables, hydrogen and energy storage insights for 2030. So the next kind of 3, 4, 5 years. And this is the main slide. Transforming the energy value chain, clean equals physical carriers and virtual clean properties, DRI. The energy source here, solar PV, wind, other renewables, fossils, nuclear, carriers, electrons, hydrogen, e-fuels, thermals, so on and so forth. The virtual layer and settlement, carbon credits, RECs, blockchain settlement via the Casper block DAG, literally by name there, smart contracts, stablecoins, finance settlements, AI data centers, and it's all within Casper anyways. So you got all of it being done on Casper. This whole section here, all of this stuff being done on Casper. Markets can go into physical trading, carbon markets, certificate exchange, new trading market, smart tokenized liquidity, and then the delivery retail, so into your homes, commercial, industrial, and data centers and AI. If you had the luxury or liberty, I keep saying liberty, I need to stop using that word. If you had the luxury and the ability, that's why I keep saying liberty, because I'm trying to combine luxury and ability, and my dyslexic brain's doing that. But if you had the ability to read through and analyze a document here, which if you didn't, guess what? This is my Discord community. If you go into Discord community, you go into it right now and type in DII. You have to go through in the search on the top right. You have to go through probably a few DII posts. Because people do talk about DII relatively frequently in there. But if you go in there and you go to just checking it out, you go to page 2. So you go down to the bottom, click one over, you will end up seeing this breakdown, which the pictures aren't loading right now for reasons unbeknownst to me, but this is what was I posted this in my VIP community and forwarded it to the Casper community here, the free community here. And it's my breakdown of what this report here from DRI is all about. The importance of it and the connection it makes to Casper. They spoke about this in detail. So you can read and understand what they're talking about here. And then understand that they're doing this on Casper. So bottom line is when you see Marathon pivoting to AI data centers to offset their losses, which is understandable on the smart play, and they're converting Bitcoin mining away from it, that is actually, in a sense, more bullish for Casper. Because Casper, as it stands, is the only infrastructure I have seen. I mean, yes, I've not done my in-depth research, and maybe there are other ones, but to my knowledge, it's the only infrastructure we have seen and heard about that is being spoken about as a virtual settlement layer for the AI data centers, for the infrastructure that institutions right now are either not in yet and going to be into, or they're into. Marathon's into it now. That is huge. Mara bought 64% stake to expand crypto mining to get into AI data centers. That is huge. So this is a very big thing for Casper, in my belief. Very big thing. And this is also why I'm not so concerned about this very news-heavy short-term FUD headline, because I'm like, cool, this is DCA opportunity. This is short in the market opportunity. This is stuff that we were prepared for in advance. So we have been ready for this. And then we know the market should make a recovery, provided we don't get a black swan and, God forbid, World War III. Once the volatility and the drama's cooled down and AI has taken that next inevitable step and its production, its ROI is exploding, AI will start booming. With AI agents will start booming because AI agents are already coming on crypto and they're ramping up quicker. They're making transactions. They're doing everything. You've got them on IGRA. You've got them in other ecosystems. You've got it on other exchanges. It is getting so much bigger. So AI is going to be the next thing that leads crypto, and with my belief will boost Casper, especially in other ecosystems, in other elements. IGRA Labs, as I mentioned, will help in that aspect. IGRA Labs went live as of 2 days ago now. Was it 2 days ago? Yes, 2 days ago on Wednesday. They've now got They published the IGRA Bootstrap. So the core idea is a one-time configurator, EOA, whose private key is provably unknown, sends a single configuration transaction that deploys all helper contracts, configures all core contracts, then self-destructs to helpers. The reason why I think this was posted about is because there was a comment I saw where a community member was basically just saying, I don't see the Genesis transaction, what you're talking about, yada yada. I haven't looked too much into it once more. I apologize for that. But I saw Pavel respond to that. Let's see if I can quickly load it up. There. So quickly load up here. There was a post he made. Yeah, so look. L2 Block Explorer can't find any entry record for the native token of the management account, which means that ICAS was pre-allocated in the Genesis block. And Pavel responded here saying, that's the beauty. ICAS is not being transferred or minted on entry by some smart contract. IGRA's execution client watches for qualifying layer 1 CAS entry deposits and credits the target IGRA VM. This might not be the same thing actually, now reading upon it. I thought it was talking about this element. I'll reanalyze this and go through it in more detail, but give some better judgment on that going forward. But try to circle back into what we're talking about. This is big for Marathon, big for me in the forward looking for the crypto market and Casper and those who are partaking, and beneficial for AI, because you need crypto to be big for AI. You're going to find the best. AI haven't got the human emotion and the sentiment that we do when we have conviction into a chain. They purely choose the best tech, and Casper is by all belief the best tech in this space. So by logic, therefore, AI is going to just choose Casper because it's the fastest and the quickest and it's the cheapest there is. Cascade, the dApp's now live on IGRA's Galleon testnet, which is great. So you can now directly mint, test Circle, ICAS, IGRA, wrapped ETH, wrapped Bitcoin. There should be the stablecoins going live on IGRA once their mainnet is public. So all this pieces are fitting together right now. IGRA are doing a lot, which is fantastic to see. Fantastic to see indeed. And then, as a final post here, we'll go to this one here from Belinsky here, which I think just gives a very nice summary of where Casper's at right now and what we're looking forward to going forward, and why I still believe this market will be big and Casper will do very, very well. Go through here though, before we do, says that banks are fighting hard on their right to monopolize the loan. The stablecoin yields would end their vampirism on trading and using our money, and now Trump is joining bank side. Yeah, I have been seeing that as well. The White House have started trying to take charge in the negotiations between crypto firms and banks in regard to the stablecoin yield. Because right now, the White House wants this stablecoin yield conflict between the two to finalize by March 1st. So Sunday, chances of that happening are slim to none from what I've heard. They're talking about it's going to happen. I don't believe them. I don't think it's going to happen. And because banks, yeah, very much right there and goes. You're very much right in saying that. By this stablecoin yield thing, banks are putting their foot down on it. They don't want it to pop because they realize that because fintech have got so much further ahead than them with the tech, in the market, if they don't stop the stablecoin yields, like there's going to be literally zero need for banks. If stablecoin yields are pushed through and fintechs and Coinbase and whatnot can offer the yields as they have been doing and frankly should be allowed to, then what's the need for a bank? There's zero need for a bank. So your banks or JP Morgans and whatnot, if they do not incorporate or even buy up these crypto firms, there's 0 point in them. They'll be made redundant. They'll go obsolete. You're going to see a massive bank collapse. There's no doubt about it, because there's no reason for have banks if you've got this. And banks don't, and I think banks will try and block this, therefore, but they won't have the ability to create the tech in the same capacity that fintech does. So they have to either adopt the tech or buy the tech. But, you're right. You're very right. And White House is now joining the bank side. Reasons, because maybe they see it as the easier option, and crypto's going to, frankly, some crypto firms I think like Ripple have rolled over actually, which is just typical. But Coinbase right now has been the main one fighting strong on that front. Not that I trust Coinbase, but they've been the ones trying seemingly fighting strong on that front for stablecoin yield. We'll see what happens. But this is the main reason why it's not being progressed it's not progressed since October, I believe. October shutdown the first government shutdown, it was around this point of stablecoin yields, but it didn't really happen because of the government shutdown, and then they've been holding off it for the last 5 months. And now they're at a deadlock because they can't agree on it. Because banks want to continue their vampirism, and crypto is the innovation that stops that. That's what crypto was created. If crypto firms roll over and let this happen, it'll be a massive loss. Because it basically means that your Igra Labs and your Casplexes and your other dexes and all your other platforms, those are layer 2s, but then you've got your Casper comms on there, your Cascades on there, your Ledger swaps on there. It means that these protocols and whatnot, if they offer ways to generate rewards from stablecoins, which Cascade have, and by minting and Zealous do have by swapping, if they offer those features, they can be penalized. That's what it means. Which means that it basically, the whole premise of DeFi is to let you be your own bank and make rewards passively. Banks doing this stops that. So it would be a big loss. I do not want to see that at all. Trump is setting up the bank. Stablecoin yields will build the decentralized system. Trump is setting up the bank. I mean, yes. The bottom line is we're at a deadlock right now. If the banks win the battle of attrition, and they're the ones to pass with the stablecoin yields where no one's allowed to offer it besides a bank, then it means that all crypto firms have to get a bank license, or a bank's got to basically buy up their firm. It gives banks, because the stablecoin yields is kind of the stablecoins is one of the, alongside AI, stablecoins is the next big thing as well. So taking away the ability to make money through stablecoins, it kind of prevents these firms from being able to scale at all. That's where all the money will come from going forward. So, frankly speaking, I prefer crypto firms come out on top of this, but I think it's going to be put in a kind of indefinite deadlock. I don't see what's going to break that deadlock, because banks have to fight this. Banks have to fight us to stay relevant. It's the unfortunate reality we're in. Banks unfortunately have to fight it, and it's screwed up. We're not rich yet. No, we're definitely not. But hopefully our entry is going to be coming through soon, given the current news. Welcome back, Queen. It's been a minute. Haven't caught a live in some time. Hope everyone's taking advantage of these great DCA buys. Hope all is well, Jay. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well as well. And yes, I'm definitely taking advantage of the markets right now. We had many short trades in the VIP setup for this correction we predicted on Wednesday. We spoke about on Wednesday. And we're ready for more pullbacks, given what potentially is about to unfold very soon as well. And welcome back as well, Kryptoni. Hopefully all doing very well today and are ready for what is to come. Now, as a final post here, Sompolinsky responding to Vlad here, who held the longest and I think the biggest interview on his show, which was with Sompolinsky here. Made the post here about Zcash is private Bitcoin, Litecoin is faster Bitcoin, Casper is scalable Bitcoin, so on and so forth. And how, Bitcoin is, and Bitcoin is the name of a movement, most definitely. I agree with that element. But Sompolinsky here responded to the fact that no, Casper's not scalable Bitcoin. It is real-time Bitcoin. Sovereign scalability is great, but it's not the core value prop. And that's the thing. We kept saying scalable Bitcoin for so very long, but it's not that I think also put Casper in its own little bubble and limited it. Real-time Bitcoin is a much broader scope. Real-time Bitcoin means achieving in a few seconds the same security guarantees that Nakamoto consensus Bitcoin achieves after an hour. So it's better security. Decentralizing each consensus rather than chain quality achieved through a coarse aggregate of rounds. A clean definition anchor for RTD. The ability to sample the honest majority in real time. RTD affects transaction confirmations, censorship resistance, secure oracle finality, and MEV resistance. So, and it goes into more detail about this stuff here as well. Bitcoin is the most censorship resistant chain, but if 60% of the miners are censoring you, your transaction will pend for 30 to 40 minutes. For shady business payments, that is not prohibitive. But for a real economy, for an asset aspiring to be at least the king of collateral, even if it's not a medium of exchange, this is unacceptable, especially under economic stress. So bottom line, Bitcoin already is too slow as it is, but if you have 60% of miners who are censoring you, it makes it even harder. It makes it even worse, which is not ideal. And then you listen to more stuff here about that stuff. And then in the context of confirmation times, increasing from 1 to 10 BPS is big. But for proof of work density, you need dozens of blocks per second. And that's why the end game is 100. Under 10, a 37% attacker can fake the majority signal with a probability of 12%. With 100, this drops to 0.3%. So it's never indefinitely impossible. It's feasibly impossible for you to attack Casper when it gets to 100 BPS. Today, Casper can't accelerate to 10 without harming confirmation times. But Dagnite, which will be coming hopefully in Q3 this year, at least on the testnet by Q3 this year, will push for 25 to 40 BPS, and thus meaning that Casper can accelerate to these sort of BPS without harming confirmation times. And this will hopefully make Casper resistant to World War III and cyber attacks as well, all of which are, World War III will likely not. The common saying was always, the Third World War will be the last World War, it'll be a nuclear war. Doubt that's going to be the case. The Third World War will be a cyber warfare. Given where we're at right now, Third World War will be a cyber warfare. Casper will be the only chain, and currently is the only chain, especially when Dagnite comes out, that will be like cyber resistant. Dagnite will be able to scale latency, continue to have uptime while everything's down. Which, if that happens, then Casper is undoubtedly going to be the chain that everyone goes to in the future. If it can stay up running during a blackout, and nothing else, of course, can do that, then Casper is the obvious choice. Which is why I stay bullish on Casper. That's why I say this project, because I think that is going to be a very commonly known fact for many, many investors who either don't know Casper or have ignored this aspect of Casper. They'll come to realize that when that potential crisis unfolds. But the question, of course, is when. It's $1 million question, family. When is that going to happen? I'm not a genie. I've got a crystal ball. We don't know. But what we can say is our time is still coming. And frankly, 2026, I can still say we're still early. Sounds sickening to say we're still early, but we are. Very, very early. We've got a lot more to come. With that being said, family, thank you all for tuning in today's Casper but crypto live stream. If you want to find out more, check out the free Discord server. If you want to find and get more ahead of the markets, taking advantage of the conditions like the trades we set up on Wednesday, then by all means, please check out the VIP. If you want right now, you get a 7-day free trial, and if you sign up through BYDFI, our affiliate exchange, you click on the Get VIP Access channel in our Discord server, our free server right here, you can get a 1-month free trial as well. Just message me on Discord once you set up here, and I'll give you that access. You can find out a lot more going on there as well. And for these volatile times where exchanges are likely to start halting withdrawals and whatnot, you should definitely have a Tangem wallet if you don't have so already. You can find out about Tangem in the description below. You can use my referral link to get 10% off your wallet. You've got to hit up Mr. Beast and get him to put on Casper. Right now he's bidding on ETH garbage. And Vitalik is saying it's going to take him at least 5 years to upgrade ETH to quantum resistant. I'm sure once I think it's inevitable. And frankly speaking, even if Mr. Beast builds on Ethereum, you've got IGRA and Casplex being interoperable with Ethereum. So frankly, building on Ethereum is a smart thing to do because it's the most interoperable chain. And because Casper is built, you've got IGRA and Casplex and Casper be able to bridge to Ethereum. It means that Mr. Beast could build on Ethereum and then plug and play into Casper. So that's not a bad thing building on ETH at all. It'd be a plug and play element, basically. So I'm not worried about that at all. That's the benefit of what's happening right now. It doesn't matter where people are building. As long as Casper creates the interoperability element, it means that they can build on whatever chain they want. When they realize that it's not efficient enough, and if Casper is available, plug and play, it's a lot better, stick on Casper. That's all it is. I'm not concerned about that. If Mr. Beast talks about Casper, then Casper would definitely do numbers, but who knows? Dagnite and VPOX makes me feel things. It makes me feel great things. Very happy about it. 100%. 100%. There's no doubt about it. But we are welcome to use our voices as always to be loud and Spread the word of Casper. Casper needs more proof of concept for it to be considered right now. That's the bottom line. But that's coming through now. Once Igro and Casper are online and you start hopefully seeing the building taking place on it, and you see more issues happening with Ethereum, with Solana, with XRP, with other chains, with Sui, and they need a more secure chain that is interoperable with those, here comes Casper. I shall, if I know where it is. I shall. Send me in Discord, just send me your Twitter. I'm pretty sure I already follow you, but yeah, just send me on Discord and I'll like your post, bro. I shall. But with that being said, family and friends, thank you all once more for tuning in today's live stream. If you enjoyed, leave me a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. I'll do that real quick right now then. I can't spell. I do follow you, I thought so. There you go. Where is it? There you go. Birth. There you go. I've reposted it for you as well. But yes, that being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night. Don't be emotional, be logical,